Did you know that Hatha Yoga was originally created just for men? And it's not because the patriarchy wanted to take women down by not giving them the practice of Hatha Yoga. It's because these practices are, in fact, for men. So, if that's the case, then where are the spiritual practices for women? If you'd like to learn more about cultivating self confidence and creating a feminine centric lifestyle, then make sure to subscribe and check down the description box below for some free guides and a free masterclass. My name is Silvana. I am a course creator and the founder of Venusian Woman. And Venusian Woman is a movement that seeks to reignite feminine wisdom through the practice of unconditional self love. Now, in this video, we're going to explore what happened to these feminine practices and these occult feminine mysteries that we don't really know where they're at. This is a subject that's very dear and near to my heart because this is the exact same question I asked myself about 6-7 years ago when I started my own spiritual journey and trying to understand the feminine mystery that lived within me. What I've learned on this journey is that feminine wisdom was hidden. And it was hidden in places where it just couldn't be destroyed. So it's not in a book, it's not written in the Library of Alexandria or any of these places like that. It was actually hidden in symbols, hidden in stories, and hidden in the place that we least expected, which is our own physical bodies. Hiding this information is actually very wise because if you learn anything from history, you know that there has been this persecution with feminine practices, and at least in like the United States and in Europe, there was this whole like witch hunt where they were burning women, and there's all these weird laws about not more than like 3 or 4 women getting together in a group because it's dangerous and all of that. So we're in a time now where we're not gonna get killed or burned for speaking our truth, at least in the West. Of course, there are some places that are still experiencing this aggravated, hatred towards the feminine. But at least now, like I'm over here telling you this story and no one's coming after me. Thank God. At least not yet. So the beauty about this is that now is the perfect time where we get to really uncover these feminine practices and the feminine wisdom that has been hidden for so long, because now is the time where it's safe for these practices to come to the surface. And they were hidden in the best place, which is our bodies. So why our bodies, and why is the feminine wisdom there? Well, in order for us to understand that, we have to understand that like we do live in a very polarized world, and we have these dualistic tendencies in everything, including the fact that like we have the sun and the moon, right? Like we have day and night. Not every planet in the galaxy or in the universe operates that way. Ours does, which means that our minds have a very like dualistic point of view and perception of most things, even our brains. We have the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. So it is safe to assume that, okay, most things operate from this dualistic perspective, which means that the practices that focus on ascension and connecting with the higher power and the sun and like going up, they're masculine practices because they're focusing on the transcendence of the body. But for women, our practices are about rooting down, returning to our core, to the roots, to the earth, to our bodies. So the hidden wisdom of the feminine is actually hidden in our bodies. So how do we know, how do we even start if it's in the body? That's like a very, first time I heard it, I found it weird because I'm like, yeah, like we're in the body, how do you even access this? And what I found is that we already have all of this programming present. There are stories that we heard as little girls. There are different things that are very present in nature that we have been imprinted on. So whenever we just trust that that's there in our mind and we take this dive into our physical body, we actually begin unlocking different parts of ourselves, different knowings. It's hard to articulate and put into words because it's not like I could put it in like an elevator pitch and give you the epiphany and the big aha, but that's not the point because that epiphany is unique to me. The whole point is for you to find like your own feminine wisdom by diving into your roots and into your body. And the place where all of these mysteries lie is in our sexual energy. Why else will there be so much suppression in the world and in our history towards female sexuality if it wasn't something that was very powerful. And whenever I started working with my own sexual energy, I realized that there's a lot there, a lot to explore. And oftentimes, like diving into our sexual energy leads us away, or not away, but it pulls us from these masculine practices. It's almost the opposite of them. So we understand that women are natural portals in between realities. We are the ones that become the vehicle for life to happen in this planet in terms of like other humans and reproduction. So that gives us a connection to this mystical realm. And if we are to connect with our spiritual practices, they have to be done through the body, more specifically through the yoni, more specifically the connection to your own sexual energy and your sexual power, because that is the root of your power. That is the root that allows us to actually move our emotions and animates us here. And for many years, I dabbled with plant medicine, and I did a lot of ceremonies and rituals. And what's interesting is that there's like these diets that you do before you go into a plant medicine ceremony. And part of the diet is to abstain from like sexual stimulation. It has nothing to do with morality. It's because that energy, that sexual energy, is what the medicine uses to help you move the different densities in your body and help you heal. So it's important that that energy has been kind of cultivated a little bit, and it's not like so overly used. I guess that's what happens in our society, but that energy is what allows you to heal. So whenever you begin working with that energy and you begin diving into your own sexual power and trying to understand what that means to you and what does that mean in your life, because other people might have an opinion about your own sexual power, that is giving you information about where you're at in relationships to your own feminine power and how you move through the world owning that power. So out of all of these things, I know that was a lot of abstract information. I want to give you 4 points that you can take with you to help you begin your exploration of feminine-centric spiritual practice. Number 1, focus on body-centric practices, meaning like connect with your actual yoni, with your physical body. Move it, feel, allow yourself to begin moving your emotions through your body. If you're feeling stress, move stress through the body. These body-centric practices allow you to ground into your physical vessel, and that is the beginning of this work. Number 2 is connect with lunar practices. So we have the solar wisdom of the Abrahamic religions, all of this more like visible path. The feminine is lunar in nature, which means that it is hidden, which means that it is dark. When I say dark, I don't mean bad or evil, okay? I just mean like not visible. It's an exploration, which means that we need to refine our attunement and our intuition. So whenever we engage in these lunar practices, we're actually training our intuitive muscle, because if we cannot see things, we have to feel them. That can be something as simple as doing rituals on the new moon and the full moon, receiving lunar light, allowing yourself to experience darkness and to get to know yourself in darkness. All of these lunar practices are going to open up a door for you, and once you open up that door, that feminine wisdom will begin talking to you in symbols. What symbols? It can be anything. It can be numbers, it can be animals, it can be through nature, different synchronicities. The whole point of the practice is that things are not so obvious. You start becoming attuned to the subtle. And once you begin paying attention to the subtle, there's more that's going to come up. And the more that comes up, the more information that you have from your own feminine nature, guiding you back to herself. This is the beauty. It's like whatever you get led to is always going to be you. It is a full circle moment of always returning to the self. Number 3, follow your desires. Maybe the Buddhists don't like this because desire is the root of all suffering. But for women, this is our attunement to the pulse of life. So whenever we follow our desires, especially our sexual desires, we are letting the animal guide us. And whenever we let the animal guide us, we are surrendering to nature, because we're embodying nature. And we trust that nature. Having to have control over everything and see everything that is happening is actually limiting us. What happens whenever we let the wisdom of our bodies do whatever it does best? For example, let's say that like whenever you're meeting potential partners, your body will tell you whenever somebody says yes or no. If you've done body-centric practices, you've taken care of your body, you've purified it from like hormones and all of the different things that just soiled your own connection to your body will communicate to you very clearly when something's a yes and something is a no. So having this like inner compass on serves us in so many different areas of life, not only when choosing a partner, but with choosing work opportunities, when choosing the perfect day to talk to somebody about something or get the raise or the promotion or whatever. It gives you an advantage over other people that are just focused on like the physical reality that they can see. And the key to unlocking this is to rebuild the relationship with desires. Notice if you shame your desires or if you allow yourself to follow them. Notice if you collapse in your desires or you step into despair. Because if you cannot hold the frequency of desire in your body and still feel safe and still feel contained, then that is the best area to begin your work. Because if you can't hold your desire, then your inner compass is ready to get attuned and guide you to the people, situation, places, or situations. I don't know if I said that, whatever. Or the situations that serve you, that are in alignment with you. And that's what we want. We want to trust life. We want to experience life to its fullest. So let life help you by following your desires and following that wave and knowing and seeing where it takes you whenever you go there. Lastly, become your own guru. Do not outsource that power into man, into a father figure, into a guru-like figure, into a personal development person. Nobody. You become your own guru. Why is that? Because we are in a time of a lot of confusion. We're all confused because we have been going against our nature for thousands of years. And then now that we're starting to ask the questions and be like, well, this is not working out anymore. There's a lot of collective confusion that's happening. I'm not saying there are no good gurus out there. I'm just saying this is not the time to really put your faith onto an externalized source of power. Not before you have truly mastered your own power. Find teachers everywhere you can, but just be careful with putting other people on a pedestal. If you want to put somebody on a pedestal, put yourself on the pedestal. That is the safest way of just maintaining your own energetic boundaries safe and clear. I'm not gonna go there, but I've just seen so much abuse when it comes to this energy. So just make sure that you become your own guru. You find a way of accessing your internal wisdom for times of confusion, and you surround yourself with other women that want to love you and support you as you explore yourself. Be very mindful of hierarchies, of little pyramids of power, of you know what I mean. Make sure that you stay within peers. Yes, mentor energy is beautiful. Teacher energy is beautiful. Be careful with the pedestal. As long as you maintain yourself as your own guru authority that is guiding yourself through your life and you're seeking resources when needing, but the ultimate source of power is you, then you are into your own spiritual practice. That is the way in which the feminine mysteries begin speaking to us and they begin unfolding. Again, I know this is a little bit more of an abstract conversation because it is occult feminine wisdom we're talking about. So there are many words that I can use to really encompass what I'm trying to communicate. So I just want to invite you to take this exploration, to begin working with your body and connecting with this darkness within. Again, darkness doesn't mean bad, it just means unseen. This darkness within, and let this part of yourself tell you its wisdom, tell you its secrets. This is connecting with the deepest part of our psyche. In Jungian psychology, it will be connecting with the animus. If you're a woman, if you're a man, it will be connecting with your anima. But over here, this is Venusian woman, so hopefully I'm talking to you ladies. I'm making an assumption, but whatever. So make sure that you leave me a comment down below if you enjoyed this video, if you have any feedback or want to share something about your own feminine mystery so we can all read. And make sure to check out my free masterclass, The Feminine Path of Liberation, is right here on YouTube, so you can just find it. I'll link it on the description box below as well. And I'll see you guys next time.